Okay, I'm gonna try this one more time. I don't know if it's gonna work, so hopefully it will. I I really don't understand because I am like on the highest internet connection now. I'm paying buku bucks and it's just still not kind of working. So, all right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just try anyway to finish this up. Hi guys. Oh, good. Some of you are coming back in. That's good. Okay. So, okay. So great. Thank you guys. I'm so sorry. My internet just decides to go, oh, it's totally YouTube. I kind of am beginning to think because I do have the highest like setting on my, I just literally, I am paying over 200 and something dollars a month for my highest setting on my internet. And I'm going to tell you something. I notice that all the time. YouTube just like goes, so we'll see. Okay, so I just want to finish this up so you guys can get the part 2 of the goal setting. Okay, so here's the thing. When you circle those 5 things and you have those 5 goals, the thing good, the thing that you want to do, is you are going to, my friend Catherine Woodward Thomas wrote a book called Calling in the One. It's a good book, Rudy. And it's a fabulous book. And in it, she talks about holding the high watch. So the idea is that, you take those 5 things and those are your lifetime, right? Now, we want to break it in. I know, Cruise Boston, it just gets me crazy with this stuff. Right. So circle 5, you've got your 5. Now, you want to take those 5 things and you want to look at what are the steps? Like, for instance, for me, I have a new, and I'm going to just give you an example. Yeah. Okay. So there are a couple things that you might want to look at. An example. One of the things that I needed was when I was working on my last book, I needed a mentor. I needed someone who knew how to put together structural edits. And so I hired someone who taught me and I learned. Now, I'm going to say a couple things about this. The other thing that you really want to get, the other thing is that you want to make sure that what you're choosing to pay attention to this year, what's on your list and what you're focusing on is going to support you in your long-term planning. So for me, when I look at my career, part of it is like, and I know this is going to sound like what, but part of it is I'm really going to be focusing on Color Street this year as well, because I started to do well with it. And I'm like, oh, this is really fun. And I'm loving it. And like I said, I'm getting to, and I'm going to give Color Street as an example. So one of the things that I know about me is I absolutely am a nail fiend. I love my nails. I'm always doing them. And one of the things I learned about it, okay, check this out. Because I'm always teaching people about growing and being your best and thinking about things outside of the box. That's my jammy jam, right? One of the things I learned, and I'll be talking about this more later, but just to give you an example, what I've learned from Color Street is the setup of it is about, all MLMs are, but I just think most of them suck. But I really like the nails and they're only $11 and to buy in is $150. So it's not like you're putting in $1 million, okay? Point I'm making, and that's not a sale thing. I'm just telling you. So what I'm saying is that what I've learned is that it's set up like capitalism. So in the sense, there's that 1% at the top that's doing really well. And then there are people going, ugh, this is so hard. I can't do it, blah, blah, blah. And then people are doing okay. And then, so I've noticed the way the structure is set up, it has shown me how comfortable I am how comfortable or uncomfortable I am with the idea of doing, the idea of putting together a plan, right, for my own success. And I never had that. So it's teaching me that structure. Okay, let me see. Let's see. My problem is I have no plan. I'm going to pretty much guess on Nona that you do have a plan. And you may not want to say it. It's crazy, but Jennifer, he's like, I know Rudy's like killing all of us today. He's funny. Okay. All right. So my point of talking about this is that I have learned a lot in doing it, and I'm growing as a person in terms of like working with others and supporting other people and creating what they want. And it's just fun and I'm enjoying it. But how does that help me with my writing? Well, it has taught me a structure that I didn't have before. So I'm applying the structure here into my creative side, my creative work. So, and of course I love my nails, I love the girly stuff, so that also brings that out for me. So when I say this to you, let's see. And this is very good that you said this, Humanimal. Humanimal said this, and I want to reiterate because I think it's really good. She says, "I'm terrible. So many dreams and plans started never under any real steam." Okay, if you follow what I've said to you today, I think you'll begin to recognize what you really do want. The reason we don't make a commitment to something is because it's much easier to sit back and say, I could if I wanted to. Because you can always coulda, woulda. I should have done that. But you can never have done it. You can always be in that, I'm going to say something to you about procrastination because I'm glad you said that. There's no such thing. Here's the joke with procrastination. There's two things I'm going to say about procrastination. One is you procrastinate because you care. You really care and you're afraid of getting it wrong. And that's why I wrote on the wall, write it wrong. Write it wrong, just do it. It doesn't matter how you start it. It doesn't matter how you start that book. It doesn't matter how you decide to get in shape. Get up and walk, pace your house. It doesn't matter because we procrastinate because we're afraid we're going to fail. That's the second thing. And there's actually a third. The third is we procrastinate because we're afraid of what success would look like. Because we have set up successful people to be idiots, to be losers, to be that 1%, to be the people that we love to hate. So you don't want to be ridiculed. So it's usually one of those three things, okay? So when we look at that, I think listen, we know fear, right? Fear is it can be any one of those things, Humanimal, because there's two great fears. There's a fear of getting what you want, but there's also a fear of not getting what you want. So those are the two great fears, because not getting what you want means it didn't happen for me. Getting what you want means, oh no. And I'm the first to tell you, once I became a best-selling author, I was like, this is it? This is it? I'm a best-selling author and I'm selling all these books, and how come I'm not like feeling better? Because you see, I thought that once I achieved that, I would feel what I would feel when I thought I would achieve that. But you see, that's where deciding what that monthly number is going to be becomes so important. Because once I decide I'm going to have a cook, I'm going to do these things, I can't succeed without that number, because then if I don't get that number, it doesn't matter if I'm a best-selling author, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to have the chef, the things, the one that support my being a best-selling author. I hope I'm making sense with some of this. I'm not sure. Here's the thing, and I'm going to say this to you, Humanimal. I'm teaching a course, and it's based on my new book. And I want to say that it's, and I'm glad you brought this up, afraid of responsibility. Well, you know what? What are the alternatives? I'm going to say this to you because when my dad was alive, obviously, he would go, oh, this hurts or that hurts. He would talk about all the stuff going on in his life. And he'd say, don't grow old. And I looked at him. I remember looking at him like this, and he'd go, I know, what are the alternatives, right? So, you either sit there and wait to die, or you get busy, right? Where's that from? It was such a cliche. It was such a cliche from Shawshank Redemption, but it was that thing, go away. It was that very important thing that was get busy living or get busy dying. And, if you're really busy, one of the things I say to myself is that, I'm really worried about that responsibility, and I'm going to worry about that tomorrow. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and write this chapter. And that's how, I remember a friend said to me once, how'd you write your first book? I said, I sat in the chair and I wrote. And she was like, but how'd you get it? How'd you do it? I went, I sat down and I started writing. Because you see, there is no way out but in. There is no way. You can't circumvent and go, well, you know what? I want to be successful, but I don't want any responsibility around it. Well, okay. Because you see, and I'm going to say this to you, the people that don't want that responsibility, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way, because I have friends that work 9-to-5 jobs. To me, it just doesn't, I can't, my brain doesn't work like that. I've never had a job. I mean, well, I had one for maybe 2 weeks, but it's because people who want to be employees take it because they've got the security, and that's their real important thing. That's not a bad thing, by the way, because there are people who have security. And I remember once saying to somebody, oh, what am I going to do? I'm so worried about, making this month's rent. And she said, get a job. That's what I do, because I don't want to worry about where my money's coming from. And I looked at her like horrified that she would suggest that I work, and I went, oh, if I want this, I've got to change up how I'm thinking. So what I'm saying to you is that it is, okay. So the thing, Melissa, I think that what Melissa said, don't be too busy to stop and smell the roses. The thing I want to say to you is about that is, and this is going to sound really horrible, so bear with me. I don't mean it that way. But you see, when we take something like that, and we say that, it's all of a sudden negating everything I'm saying. And I know you don't mean it like that, but it's like, oh, I want you to succeed, but you know what? Don't work so hard. Well, what? Look, there's hard work involved. And you know what? Finding time, that's what I'm doing now. I'm working on, when I create this money, I am going to have that time. And that's an important thing for me to do. But you see, I think we have to be careful of trying to go, well, you know what? I realize that if I write this book, it's going to take a lot of time. I don't have that kind of time. I don't want to do it because it's too much responsibility. I don't have that kind of time. And you know what? I'll take away from my life. And that is your life, because here's the deal. And I love that you said that, by the way. I think that people talk now more than ever about the idea of work-life balance. And I think that's very healthy. I really do. And we're talking about just setting your goals for your career. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying we need to just focus on what your goal is, right? Because here's the thing that's going to happen. And this is going to sound really odd, but every time I've been working on a book, I tend to go in that direction, and magically, all of a sudden, adventure surrounds me. I end up getting invited somewhere. I end up meeting people. I end up, finding myself in this mansion or castle, if you will. They're called castles, or manor. They're called manors in the UK. The big manor. I find myself in these fabulous places that are just, wow, how did I get here? And I got there because I was pursuing something that I loved. And as I was following that feather, it took me to the next thing. So what I want to say to you is focus on the 5. Focus on the 5 things. And I talked about this in the other video. I kind of want to start to wrap up, only because I want to make sure you guys can do that. I really want to hear from you how this works for you. If you need me to do a follow-up, I definitely will. And I think it's important to go, okay, now we need to break down those 5 things. Break down the 5. So that's important. I'm working on two big classes that I'm going to be starting in about a week and a half. So I'll be working on those, but I will have time to do videos, which I'm going to do. And I have just so enjoyed, as usual, to be with you. And I love that you said gratitude. Let's see, what did, thank you, Lonel. I appreciate, is it Lonel? Lonel. Thank you. I just know so many people that can work 2 or 3 jobs, and that's all they do. And your life passes you by. You're in your mid-30s alone, and just settle for someone so they can have kids before it's too late. You know what? This is where it becomes super important to get that you're designing your life. I think that's the key, is when you design your life, all the things that come in are going to be there because of you enjoying it. Oh yeah, if you would, feel free to subscribe, and also please like the video. It does help, the likes. Let's see. Things do take time. I agree with you. Thank you for saying this, Michelle. Let's see. I'm just going to think. No, and I really think you guys are fab. I think that, let me see. Human Animal said, distracted by lives, other things, breakups, need to have myself and success as a high priority, not be flotsam and jetsam in life. Here's what I want to say to you. And I'm glad I read that part, Human Animal, because I hadn't seen that. Listen, we all had that stuff going on. Every single one of us has health, a breakup, a pet who's ill. There's always something. And the thing that happens is if you're distracted, you guys are going to laugh at me. I don't have it in front of me. Do you know what I have in my fridge? You know that thing that they put up like like moms put up and it says, go to the store, things to do this week, and it's like it's one of those things you stick on the fridge and tells you all the things to do. Well, mine says things I probably won't do. And it's like, go to the store and get this, mop the floor, all of the things I'm not going to do. And and it's like, oh, clear up this tax thing, get this bill taken care of, and just make all lists on my fridge of all the things I'm not going to do. And I had a girl came in the other day who was helping me. She was a part-time assistant. And she came in and she looked at the fridge and she started laughing. I go, what's so funny? She goes, this is the best thing I've ever seen. I said, what do you mean? She said, I love this one. I said, what's that one say? She said, this one right here says, I'm not going to get off the couch. So, Humanimal, if you need to be on the couch and you need to be distracted, allow yourself that space, because I can pretty much guarantee if you allow yourself that space to sit on the couch and just watch reruns of Columbo or whatever the heck you want to do, or watch, crime show stuff, sit there until you don't want to sit there. And there will come a time when you give yourself permission. When you give yourself permission to do something that seems antithetical to everything, and you stop beating yourself up, there will come a time that you will get off that couch and you will go, I know what I have to do now. Because you see, we have to be the people who don't start with me on taxes, Cruise Boston. We have to be the people that gives ourselves the kindness, give ourselves the kindness, give ourselves the permission, allow ourselves to have these dreams, allow ourselves to go, put that down and go, I'm not doing anything today. I think that's what is so, so important. Give yourself permission to be distracted. Give yourself permission, say to yourself, and this is something I do, by the way. And especially when when your mind's going, you're distracted and you're like obsessed. Okay, maybe you're obsessed about having an argument with someone who may not be in the room with you. You know what I mean. Get the timer, kitchen timer, or we all have our phones now, right? You take your phone and you set 10 minutes and you go, okay, go. And you go in the mirror and you argue with that person, you fight with them, you just go, you're an idiot, and I'm going to tell you more, whatever you want to do. And when the 10 minutes is up, that's it. Go do something else. When you give yourself permission to waste time, suddenly it's no longer a waste of time. Suddenly it starts to shift, because the big thing is that we have a pattern of beating ourselves up over things we're not doing. Well, you know what? So what? You can get it done. So what? I have a whole, when I teach level 1 card reading, when I do, which one? Chakra Wisdom Oracle, there's an entire thing about neutral observer. And it's probably the most important work I do of you say, so, one of the best things, and I am going to wrap up with this. One of the best things that changed my life, and I know I've said this to you before, but hell, I don't know if you've seen the whole video, but the thing I'm going to leave all of you with is this. In the 80s, and it was still kind of taboo to have naked pictures or do something wrong. Now people do everything wrong and oh God, she did that, but because we see everything. But I remember that they uncovered naked pictures of Madonna. And I remember the press swarming her. We were watching this on TV and it was like, oh my gosh, naked pictures of Madonna. Ooh, and it was so fantastic. This woman walked down those stairs and they said, oh, Madonna, naked pictures. Ooh. And she went, so? She kept walking and I thought, wow, so? And that gave me, I'm getting truth bumps. That gave me such hope, because I thought, yeah, she was so? Yeah, and? So it's kind of yeah, so you're obsessing about the guy. Okay, and? Obsess. You see, We spend more time trying to stop ourselves from thinking something than just thinking it and moving on. So I want to leave you with that thought. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, I so want to go to Greece. That is so funny. Shelly, oh my gosh. Then she did a sex book, right? Exactly. So she doesn't care. And that is a real woman. See, thank you. But I want to say, you know, it's kind of like, I want to go to Greece. I just saw, it was so funny because guys, I'm starting this. I'll let you know when I'm going to be doing it. But because I'm newer at it, it's going to be on my site at some point. I'll be charging very little, but it's location astrology to find out where your vibration is best. And you kind of know that. Like, I don't know, you go to a place and go, I hate it, you know, but Greece, thank you. Thank you, Lionel. Yeah, you know, this is the thing. You have to remember that Madonna at that time, you know, she was like this superstar. And for her to say, she set a tone for so many of us in some ways in good, some ways bad, you know, but I think the biggest thing that it gave me was the idea of permission. Michelle, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And I actually have an open window about a retreat in Greece, and I really want to have one, you know, so that's kind of love to go to Greece. All right, everyone, much love, lots of blessings. I'm going to go work on my goals, and I hope you're going to work on yours. Please post below what you're up to, what you're working on. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Oh my gosh, thank you. I appreciate the super chat. You like rock. Wow, thank you. And the thing I want to say also is that please, please, please feel free to, you know, mention below anything that's going on. I have my new thing with, yes, thank you so much, Jennifer. You rock. Here's what I'm going to say. I am really working on, hey, baby. I know my old boy came up. He's hungry. So the thing, he's still alive, by the way, you guys. Owen, you still here? So if we spend our life worrying about what other people think or said, we stop living. Live and love life. Amen. I'm going to stop on that. Kea, you did it. Happy New Year's, everyone. Much, much love, and start getting your rose in a duck. And you're going to find that this year's going to be the year for you. Claim it right now. Claim it. I'm claiming it for all of you. Much love, everyone. Have a blessed, blessed evening. And I will see you around the campfire. We're going to dance around the campfire next time. All right. Much love. Bye for now.